Rear full fire escape. See the railing stayed there. You can see the catwalk coming out to the stairs. Has rail issues. The rail is only supported on both ends. Original hardware, original hardware, original hardware. Somebody changed the bolt there, but left the original bolts there. Gusset plate here, you can see all the rust in it. You can see where the original bolts there are falling out. Original hardware there. These have been changed, but there's still all kinds of rust in the connections. The rail bolts were not changed. You can see the gusset plate there with original hardware and all the rust in it. And you can see where this come up. That's the piece coming out, and it's got bolted to the piece here. This here, you can see they added it to what was there before, just bolted it together. And you can see the two bolts down the corner there and two bolts down the corner there. And it's bolted together here with square hardware. All original hardware. All original hardware. You can see all the square bolts there. Original hardware, square bolt in the rail there. Original hardware, 50, 75 years old. Square bolts there. Rivets in the stairs here, so it's original hardware in the stairs. You can see the rust building up in the connections. You can see the original treads in the head and the rails. Somebody used hooks on this side because the clips were gone. You can see the condition of it here. Condition of the stairs here. The paint needs to be done. see all square bolts in the railings. Square bolts, look at the rust in the connection there. Down here at the bottom you can see all the rust in the connections there. The rust in the connection there. The rust in the connections there. See the square bolts and hex bolts there. Square bolts there. Square bolts here. Original hardware. You can see all the rust in the joint there. Stringer connection here. You can see all the rust. It's buckling that through. The bolt here. You can see I can get my finger under it, so the rust is building out, eating that. The same thing with the bolts and the stringer there. This side here, you can see all the rust in the connection that is spreading everything. You can see that the channel is eating away there. All the holes in the channel here. So these bolts are not into anything solid anymore. You can see all the rust in the connection over there. Channel on the wall here. That looks to be an Everett 2 bolt there. The others there look to be a bolt. It's bracketing caught here. Original square bolt hardware. Square bolt hardware here. Original 50, 75-year-old hardware. It comes over here. You can see all the rust in the connection. Original hardware. Down there you can see original hardware. Grating here, over there. Original hardware. Somebody came in, did a little re-bolting. You can see all the rust here. Another angle at those two pieces up there with all the holes in them. Square bolts on the tread. Holes eaten in the concrete there. You can see the whole rust in the gusset there. You can see all the rust in the gussets here. The rust there. All the rust there and the angle being eaten away. Over here you can see all the rust and the space up here where my finger is. You can see that it's separating, all the rust is eating away in the brackets. Original square bolt railings and the hardware. Square bolts in the railings, square bolts in the treads. You can see all the rust in the connections up there where it's separating. You can see the steel there where it's separating. Come down here, you can see all the steel, the rust in the railings, the rail connections. Separator starting to go there. Separator starting to go here. The rust is almost as wide as my finger in that connection. And down here, all the rust in the corners there. Original square hardware there. Original square hardware here. All the rust in the joint there. Rust in the joint there. The railings here, you can see all the rust in them, all the rust in them. Original hardware. Square bolts are 50, 75 years old. You can see the bolt here, it's, and the angle, the space in it's already deteriorating, rotting away. Same thing here. You can see all the rust in the connection here. You can see all the rust in the connection there. You can see the deterioration of the bolts underneath here. You can see the deterioration of the grating. You can see the corner bracket here, the deterioration of it. Same thing here, original hardware. Square bolts, 50, 75 years old. You can see the condition of the gusset here, how much rust is behind it. Same thing here. You see the rust of the gusset there. Connection there. Angle here. Don't know if it's true bolt to the building or lag to the building. Those could be bolts, they could be lags. Don't know. Same thing here. See all the rust in the connections. All the rust in the connection, the rust in the stringer there, sitting down there, and the brick's starting to deteriorate. You can see the steel at the base there starting to deteriorate. You can see all the rust in the connection of this gusset plate. You can see all the rust in here, all the rust in there. Rust in the connection there. You can see all the rust coming through the angle there, the channel there, and the deterioration of the channel. That is a piece of angle supporting that stringer seems to be just lagged in. You can see here the deterioration here, like the holes growing here. Original hardware there. You can see all the rust up there. You can see all the rust here and the angle buckling. See all the rust of the angle here. See all the rust in the connections here. All the rust in the connections here. Full virus cape, you can see all the rust in the connection there. You can see the rust in the connection there. You can see the bolts, how they're deteriorating. On the end here, you can see all the rust deterioration. You can see all the rust deterioration. You can see all the bolts there are deteriorating. You can see the plates are starting to deteriorate, and over there the plates are starting to deteriorate.